Hello, Friendzies. Welcome to my living room. Today, I have a stack of Magic Tree House books. These are the ones I already own, okay? These are ones that my mom got. It was a huge donation at her library. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going through my copies and any ones that are like not in like the best shape. I'm going to be, putting off to the side. But also, like, I don't know if you can see, the Merlin Mission ones are, like, clearly marked, and the Merlin Mission ones I have are not clearly marked. So I'm going to go through all my Magic Tree House books, take a look at my little list in my book. You can see my pretty living room while we hang out, and that's what we're going to do. And I don't know, I might yap a little bit. This is the video. This was not going to be what this video was this week. But then my mom told me about the giant donation, and I was like, fuck me, I have to have it. So yeah, let's get into this video. Okay, is this a good angle? There's books in front of you, but they're gonna move. Merlin Missions are all on top, and I need to get the page of like, I have a list of books that I need. So I still have like Spiderwick Chronicles. I still have Jewel Kingdom books I need. I need the Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I need the hardcover versions because I have a box set of the paperback. The Witch series. Do I have actually any of... I don't think I have any in that stack. I have an extra stack over here on the floor because I brought out more books than I thought. I have them all in a tote. Anyway. And then I have all the Magic Tree House ones I need and the Merlin Mission. So I'm going to get this out. At the very least, I need to have a pen there because I need to see what Merlin Missions I need. Magic Tree House is not like... When you look them up online, it doesn't like super tell you what the order is, but I think I have literally all of them right here, right now. I like these. I think I prefer these though, because these are a little bit better. Okay, anyway. While we do this, I want to chit chat because last week I made the video talking about like imposter syndrome, and then since that video came out, other things have happened in my life that I like have contributed to my imposter syndrome. So let's just like talk, right? So I said in last week's video that there was a job at a different library that I had applied for, and I didn't get it. I was like right at the beginning of the interviews. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta do this. Okay. So I don't need this one. I already have that. And I need that one. Perfect. So I didn't get that job. It was whatever. A friend of mine actually got it that worked at the same library as me, which I think is kind of funny. And she 100% deserves it. She has a master's in library science and she's going for like another master's. I honestly don't know how higher education works. Oh my God, I just completely crossed off the wrong series. I'm so glad that paper tears out of this little notebook easy because that's going to make me feel worse. Oh boy, oh boy. So, and she absolutely deserves it because she's good at her job and she knows what the fuck she's doing and she like actually has knowledge, and sometimes I feel like I'm just making shit up as I go along, right? So she got that job, and that's not what I'm upset about, because if you're watching this, you shouldn't be. But if you're watching this, hi babe. I'm not upset with you. I'm upset with myself. Because the thing is, and this is where I'm going to say, anybody that's anti-self-diagnosis, don't be here. Get the fuck out of my video and leave, because if you're like so crabby about the fact that people do research and use context clues and diagnose themselves with different things, that's, the medical world is a nightmare, but also, people don't take women especially seriously. So context clues, and my best friend has 2 children that are diagnosed autistic, and my best friend, she's like, yeah, I'm if I'm not autistic, that's kind of fucking crazy. So I also definitely think I'm autistic. Like, the clues are there, different things she talks about, like with her kids and different doctors, just different things she talks about, because having children that she then is getting resources for and helping as best she can. You know what I mean? The dots are connecting. I found lately that I'm kind of reckoning and really noticing different things about possibly, because who can say? I'm not officially diagnosed. But the idea of me possibly being autistic, I'm not upset about it because, like, I almost definitely am. If I got an official diagnosis and they didn't say I was autistic, I'd be like, that sounds like a load of shit. But the thing is, a lot of people talk about Merlin Mission's 41. What's going on? Magic Tree House doesn't make any sense to me. The thing about it all is people talk about, like, getting... It's either a certain age or, like, when you kind of realize or you finally get your diagnosis that you have, like, skill regression. And I've noticed that really badly, especially in the last couple years. Looking back at it, there was a time where I worked at my old job where I was, like, really, really having a bad time. And I think I've talked about it before. I had to take a mental health leave. And that was no fun, in my opinion. I really didn't enjoy having to do that, but I did. I had to take a mental health leave from my job, and it was not fun, and it was not easy because I lost out on money. And looking back on it, I'm like, hey, with the knowledge I have now, hold on one second, I have to move the camera again. Okay, now we're going to be a little more up close and personal because you're balanced on my drink. Looking back on it now, I'm like, hey, that was almost definitely like an autistic meltdown. I couldn't do it anymore. And there's a tweet I made years ago. I'm pretty sure it was about as long ago as when that all happened. Where are you? 12? Okay. I'm just trying to get these, like, now we have hardcovers. Like, what's going on? And I definitely need this because this is like the final book, but I don't know if I want it in hardcover. I'm having trouble right now trying to figure this out. You know why? Because I'm trying to be so focused, but I'm also yapping like no one's business. So anyway, I'm pretty sure it's an autistic meltdown. And ever since then, the tweet I made, that's where I was going with this. The tweet I made back when that happened. So back in like 2022, same year I found Stray Kids. Actually, same mental health leave that I discovered Stray Kids in. I made a tweet where I was like, I forgot how to mask and it's ruining my life. And then in parentheses, autism, not COVID. I'm not a monster. I'm just a bitch, which is true. But ever since that happened, like I was not doing well. Our HR lady that used to work at my old job. I don't know if I've ever talked about this here. The HR lady that works at my old job still, was the first and only HR. I worked there for 9 years. The first and only HR that actually gave a shit about employees, because usually HR works for the company, not for the employees. She was the first and only HR I ever noticed that worked for the employees. And how many times am I going to say that word? She actually gave a shit. And the first conversation I ever had with her was me walking into her office and going like, hey, I don't feel safe. And I think I need time off. And she was like, oh my God, okay, yeah, come right over here. Like, you know what I mean? The first thing an employee says to you pretty much ever, other than like, hey, like, nice to meet you. My name's so-and-so. That's kind of spooky. You know what I mean? I don't blame her for being a little, okay, we got 2 of these. I don't blame her for being a little startled by me because that's just it. I felt very not okay. I felt very out of control and just not mentally well. I think that's 100% true. Like, knowing what I do know about how autism can like present in people and just like looking back on my past experiences and everything, I'm like, again, if I'm not autistic, like if somebody like officially diagnoses me and I'm not autistic, I'm going to call bullshit because I don't think there's any way that I'm not. You know what I mean? That's not what the main point of this video is. I'm not here to talk about like specifically autism diagnosis and things like that. I want to talk about the fact that like I definitely stopped masking. Like there's something that changed. If it's not autism, there's something that changed because I'm definitely not the same as I was before. And I mean, people change. That's how things work. Sorry, I'm just like double checking that like certain things are lined up and all. I'm definitely not the same way that I was quote unquote, before. And I definitely like feel things differently, probably stronger. And I struggle with more, it feels like, than I ever did before. Going back to talking about how I didn't get that library job, the skill regression of it all, because I have noticed and I do feel like I've had like ridiculous skill regression. I feel like I don't know how to like talk to people anymore. And I don't know how to fix that, quote unquote. I don't know how to change that or go back to how it was before, how I was before. I don't know what to do. Because it feels like a lot of the time I'm just like making things worse, whether it's specific conversations or whatever. I feel like I'm making things worse. And that's not the intention any of the time, but it's like I feel like I'm trying to have conversations that maybe might not be easy with like friends, or like friends are trying to have conversations with me that aren't easy, and I'm either completely like missing the point half of the time, or it takes me so much longer to get to the same point that they're at. I feel like my reading comprehension has really gone down, because I've noticed a lot of talking on like TikTok about, hold on, sorry. I'm noticing things. I'm recognizing patterns. That's not a funny joke. That's a hilarious joke, but it's not funny. I've noticed on like TikTok and stuff, especially because people are shit talking AI, which I 1010% support. If you're an AI user, I don't have any respect for you. I really don't. I think you're a fucking moron. And if you're like, well, I use it so I don't feel stupid, you should feel stupid. I feel stupid just like existing. You should do it too. It builds character. It's good for you. A joke, and not fully nuanced. There is nuance to this conversation, but a fully unnuanced joke. Bullying builds character, and you should be fucking bullied for using AI. AI is destroying the fucking world, and you're an idiot if you're using it. I don't have any respect for you, and you don't deserve respect. I've noticed conversations about like AI and everything, and then people are talking about how like kids at school, because like they've grown up with only computers in their faces and everything like that, how people are losing like reading comprehension, and people genuinely just like don't understand things anymore. And I think I'm in the same boat, but not because of like AI use, because fuck that shit. I feel like I'm in the lack of like reading comprehension because of whatever I went through in 2022. And I think it's the, skill regression that's very commonly associated with like autism, because again, a lot of people like talk about, they finally get a diagnosis and they feel like that's awesome. Like I now have a name to like my struggles, and I can, look for resources that can benefit me. But then people say like they notice that they're having skill regression and things like that. And I'm there. I notice it. It's there. And it sucks. The reading comprehension, and then like I feel like maybe my levels of empathy have really swapped, which I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, because I feel like I feel everything so much all of the time, to the point where other people are like, what is like, why? Calm down. You don't need to feel everybody's emotions all the time. But then I'm like 50-50. I either feel everything all of the time, or am feeling like not nothing, but I feel very little, and then I'm not understanding why it's such like a for everybody else. And it's like not fun, and it's not easy, and I don't like it. And I think it's just something I kind of have to like reckon with. I'm going to check both volumes and see which one's in better quality, because now I'm at the point where I have double stacks of things. Which one looks better to you? I think this one. Oh, because this one has like a big, oh, from Borders. Holy shit, who remembers Borders? I think this one's better. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I've noticed it a lot. And oh, that's where I was going with all of this. Because I didn't get that job, like lately, I made the imposter syndrome video last week, and I mean, you were there, you watched it, to kind of talk about that specifically, because ever since I didn't get that job, I've been feeling like really bad about myself. I've been having like, I guess you could say a depressive episode. I every time I'm like, no, there's no way. And then I'm like, there's probably a way. Every time I don't think I'm having a depressive episode, I am having a depressive episode. That is a fact, and it is like proven for me historically over the years. Every time I don't think so, it is in fact the truth. I've been like kind of like in a depressive episode, and I've just really been feeling like extra bad about myself, especially because there was another opportunity. It was like an internal listing at my job to make like a little, it was basically my friend's job that she no longer has at our library because she's at a different library, and it was more pay and everything, and it was, you know, it was posted on the wall, and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna work on my application, and like I have to do a new cover letter and this and this and this, and I was so just like, do I not have 6 in that pile? That's crazy. Why did I not know that? Oh, maybe, oh, cause you know why? Because these were both in my pile, I think. Oh, this one is like coming apart though. All right, hold on. These are the same. I guess the one with the like fact sheets on the back. Discover more ninja secrets for yourself, and then it's what do kids have to say about Magic Tree House books? Look on the very first page. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna keep the ones that have that, I think. Let me now make sure that, ideally, I'm gonna be keeping the ones that have that extra like insight from the kids kind of vibe. Okay, so yeah, I don't know, just, oh shit, but this one's worse quality. Like this one has worse quality. Anyway, the whole idea of a cover letter is so scary and overwhelming and just like awful, I think, because like, what do you mean? Why do cover letters exist? I know why, but like, why do cover letters exist? I don't get it. And it's just been like hard lately. I feel like I've been just really struggling with like things that felt very basic and very like, duh, like of course you know how to do this, or you should know how to do this, because like, why wouldn't you kind of vibes. And I've just been really reckoning with the fact that I'm like realizing I'm having trouble with a lot of things. And oh, this one's not good. This one's like, it's, I don't want that. I want these books to like last and like be around for my kids. So I think I'm going to need to write down that I need 12. Okay. I want a different one of that. I don't really like that one. It's not the worst quality in the entire world, but it's not fantastic. Ooh, which one of these do I keep? The one with the fact tracker or the one with the stuff in the back? Anyway, yeah, I'm just saying a whole bunch of shit. I feel like I'm just yapping like nobody's business. Well, because I am. Where did 11 go? I thought I had 11. Oh, I do. I need 12. That's, yup. I don't know. I'm having a lot of thoughts and kind of, I guess, dealing with the fact that like my brain doesn't feel the way it used to feel. And I don't like that, because I feel like now is the time that I need to be in like tip-top shape, and I have a job that's super important to me. So I feel like I want to use my brain more and like show off kind of what I can do and how I can be an asset and everything. And I feel like I'm not doing that. And I also feel like I don't have the capability to do that. And that feels so garbage. I used to be like so confident in different things I did and different things I said, and now I feel like I'm not smart about anything. And like that never feels good. You know what I mean? That never feels like a happy realization. That always makes you feel bad. That's where the conversation last week of the imposter syndrome, because I do really just feel like I'm faking it, and I feel like I've convinced people to think that I'm smart and that I'm like actually really not. So it doesn't feel good, and I'm not very happy about it, but I guess sometimes it is what it is. Like I don't know. I don't know how to feel really anymore, because I don't really know I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. That's what it is. And I feel like everything I'm doing is fake. Oh, also that position was already grabbed because I the thing is about that, I don't know if I took too long to like apply or if it was kind of already predetermined, because there were signs for like another lady getting the position that my friend used to have, because it was one more additional hour weekly, but it was also $3 more. That was another big thing, is that other job at a different library was gonna pay really, really good money. And I was getting excited because I was like, oh, maybe I'll be able to afford rent and silly goofy things, and I'll be able to buy Christmas presents for my friends, and I'll be able to donate money easier and not like, hold on, I'm so confused. Tiger, okay, I did do the right thing. I just got overexcited, I think. I was just excited for the possibility of being able to afford things. You know what I mean? With the money that other job was going to give me if I got it. So it's the kind of realization that like I'm not going to be making that money, because I've talked about it in other videos. I did take a pay cut to get this library job, but that was a conscious choice. It was a conscious choice that I made, and I don't regret it. It's just really scary with the way the world is right now. That's why things like big book donations of Magic Tree House are such a fucking delight. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been like feeling bad about myself lately, and I don't like I shouldn't feel bad about myself. I don't like really have a reason to feel bad about myself. It's not my fault that I didn't get the job necessarily. It's just that somebody else was better qualified for it. I just feel bad. I just feel bad about me. I don't feel great about the whole situation, and I'm just really noticing that I am having a harder time dealing with things and like disappointment than I ever used to. And I think that's also like a big part of it, because I was gonna stay up and work on the cover letter the other night for that position. This was my favorite one. This was my favorite Magic Tree House book when I was growing up. I read this one in my classroom library. It was like a little nook area in like 3rd, 4th grade. They wanted me to read, like, I was a great reader. I've always been a great reader. My mother's a librarian, but I think their issue was I only wanted to read what I wanted to read. I could never understand why people... That's so cool. This edition is only available for distribution through the school market. That's fucking dope. I never liked being told what I could and couldn't read. You know what I mean? I like reading what I want to read, and how fucking dare you people try to tell me otherwise. These are the same fucking one. These are the same one. TLDR, because this video right now that I'm filming it is 26 minutes long. TLDR, I've just been struggling lately, and I felt like I have been like in a depressive episode, and it hasn't felt good, and I don't like it, but I'm trying really hard to like not let myself get really frustrated, and instead of focusing, what I need to do is, instead of focusing on things that I'm not good at, or I feel like I'm not good at, or I feel like I'm not smart enough, and sometimes, you know what, I'm not smart enough, and that's okay, because I don't need to be the one that does that stuff. There's other people in the world, there's other people in my friend group that can be the ones that like do these things. But I need to just kind of start learning how to get better at coming to the decisions or coming to the realizations that I'm not good at certain things, and that's okay. I feel like I'm gonna start crying, and I don't need to be so hard on myself and mean to myself just because I have a hard time with stuff. And that's what I've been like really struggling with lately, I've noticed. And I had like, it was like a day or two after I filmed that video and edited it and everything, because I went up on Wednesday, but it was like honestly just the other day. So it was after I made that video that I kind of had like a mini breakdown about the fact that certain things are like hard for me, and they shouldn't be hard for me, and I felt like really stupid, and I was being really not nice to myself. So there's that. These are the ones... dust and hair came up when I did that. These are the copies that I'm keeping of the Magic Tree House just series, not Merlin missions. These are the ones I'm not keeping. So they're like just like a little bit beat up, or like none of these are bad quality. Some of these are just like a little bit beat up, and I'm not loving that. And then what are these? These are the same, but they're like a slightly different edition because they have numbers. I think the ones that have numbers I don't want, because I like consistency, and if I keep the ones with numbers, I'm going to need the rest of them with numbers. But these I like because these are Merlin Mission copies, but these have numbers. Fuck, what do I do? I think what I need to do is turn the camera off and go look up Merlin Missions and see how many I'm missing. And then I'll come back to you guys and let you know what I've decided to keep. So right now, the number babies I'm not keeping. I'll be back. Okay, we've reached an impasse. Because those are the regular Magic Tree House, right? Those are the ones I'm keeping. These are the copies I'm not keeping. And these are like... the spines are different than those spines, so anyway. This one's a hardcover, and I think we just have to live with the hardcover because this is the first of the Super Edition series. I looked it up. These are Merlin Missions, but these are also Merlin Missions, and these have numbers on the spines, like those other versions of the main series. But I have more of these? Which version of Merlin Missions do I keep? Because I think this version is the same... Actually, you know what? I didn't check. Hold on, let me double check. We're gonna do it this way. There is genuinely a way to check. If anybody doesn't know, the information about when books were published is usually in the first couple pages of a book. So let me look. 2003, 2013. I don't think this is going to give me the answer I wanted. I think I had a different idea of what answer I wanted, and this isn't going to be there. Huh. Never mind. I don't think that gave me the answers I wanted. But anyway, help me decide, which version of Merlin Missions should I keep? Should I keep the ones that are more cohesive with the main series? Or should I keep the ones numbered? Because I have more of the ones numbered, and they make more sense. But to have consistency on my bookshelf, these would go together. You see what I mean? I don't know. Help me decide in the comments. And then I have a couple hardcovers of okay, so these are ones I don't... Hurricane Heroes in Texas, Christmas in Camelot. I don't even know anymore. Okay, well, that was the video. I don't know how long it's going to be because I fucking yapped for so long. This was my living room. I hope you enjoyed. And that was Magic Tree House. By the time this video goes up, I probably will have already decided. But, let me know in the comments regardless. Because if not, I'll be donating? I'll be giving a lot of these to my friend for her young children, who are the coolest fucking kids in the world. So, you know? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. And same thing from last week's video. If this is anything similar to what you guys are thinking or experiencing or having thoughts about, I love you and you're doing a good job. And I need to remind myself that I'm doing a good job. We're all doing a good job and we're all here trying our best. Yeah. See you in the next video. Bye.